So who told you this idea? Your life is grand. In fact, what is the definition of life? It is basically, if you just sum it down or dumb it down in order to tell someone like a child, well, what is life? Life is just the experience that you have. Life is life. If you just wanted to say it simply, well, what is life? Life is just life, bro. That's all I got for you. But if you dive deeper into it, what creates life? Because if you think about it, life is like a portrait, or life is like a big picture, a big painting. Now, if you were to go to a museum and see a huge painting, it's so much easier to see the small details, the small nuances, the small brush strokes, the small colors, everything inside of it. But life, if you view it as a picture or a painting, life is only as grand as you decide to make it. If you decide that life is something that is outside of your reality and it's just something separate to explain your experience on the world, in the world, then that's what you're going to believe. But this is what I believe. I believe that life is the small moments, life itself, because you can't differentiate life from a situation. If someone were to explain, oh, I'm going through this really hard time right now, some random person might just say, hey, that's life. Because there is no difference between the grandness of your life and the small details of it, the small experiences. Every moment of life is life itself. So, as I said, it's only as grand as you make it. Every moment makes up your life. It makes up the pages of a book that you would never read, but that someone else may. It's up to you to decide whether life is something that can be conceptualized or made as a decision. Every moment in life, in your experience, changes it. I think there is a saying, or I'm quoting from something that I saw, where they say that there's many universes, and you don't have to believe it, but just work with me for a second. Stay on to this idea that I'm trying to create, that life is many branches of reality, and one decision would lead to a branch of that decision, and another, if you didn't make a decision, would lead to many branches of reality in that decision. And if you decide to accept that idea, even if it isn't true, your brain would not know the difference, but even if you didn't believe it was true, you would at least see that there's many possibilities. You would start to believe that every decision that you make affects your day, affects your life, affects your future. I've said it before in a previous video that your present and future are the same. So if you want to go check that video out, just rummage through it because I have no idea what it's called. But yeah, let's say today I decide to work out. All right, great. So my reality, my life for this current moment, because tomorrow I may die, my life was that I worked out or that I exercised. So tomorrow, how will my life be? Will I do it again? Will I take a rest? Will I do something different? And let's say I die 2 days from now. Tomorrow, my decisions would be the end of my life and the story of my life, which means my life does not change from day to day, change from moment to moment, because no moment is guaranteed. You cannot say, I have plans tomorrow, if tomorrow never comes. Oh, I'm gonna be this type of person tomorrow, if tomorrow doesn't exist. That's not to scare you. That's not to put pressure onto you. I'm not telling you to do everything today. I'm telling you to notice that Your life is these small moments, these small hours in which we create, in which you create. If you decide to tell somebody off, or if you decide to do a good deed, and tomorrow you no longer exist, well, then that would be your life story. And that is how you will be remembered. So when you stop thinking as life as some grand thing that cannot be grasped, remind yourself, or I'm reminding you, that it can be grasped. And in fact, it is so manageable and maintainable and something that you can hold on to, that it's within every second of life, of your day, of your moment, of your experience. And you get to choose to decide which way to take it. You decide. I'm quoting another person, but I'm pretty sure someone said, like, your life is a car, and your steering wheel is the decisions and choices that you decide to make. You're in, not the passenger, the driver's seat. You're in the driver's seat, and some people are able to drive with no hands. But some people hold firmly and tightly, and they're shaking in their boots because they're afraid of the decisions that they're making, that they're going to make. For those of you that know how to drive, which is probably everybody, you don't look at the steering wheel, right? You don't look at the decisions that you're making or the decisions that you made. You're looking ahead. You're looking into the future. The future is the next couple of miles. You're looking into the possibilities of what your decision, of what other decisions would affect and make into your life, which is your car. I hope that makes sense, or if there's something that you can grasp from that. I think it's a very good example. But yeah, it's going to be short. I'll keep it that way. I don't want to make it too long, and I don't want to say things that shouldn't be in this video. If you liked it, subscribe, comment down below, and try to give me an example or an analogy of how you view your life, on how grand it is, when in reality, it's not. My name is Augustin. Thank you so much for being here, and this is just for clarity.